Okay, that is the perfect question. And that's exactly a question that someone asked the Buddha a long time ago. Many people asked this question. And the Buddha answered this question. He says, if you go look at the Kalama Sutra, okay? It's Kalama, Kalama Sutra. He answered this exact question. He went to a town called Kalama, and they wouldn't let him in. They said, look, man, we don't need another guru. We don't need another pante. We don't need another monk in here. We already have a ton, and they all teach different things. So look, we don't need you. And how do we know that your teaching is going to be any more right than what they teach? So we're supposed to trust you? And the Buddha says, no, do not trust me. Do not trust me. Do not believe me. He never said believe me. He says, don't believe me. I challenge you to don't believe me. But the way you prove it is live my truth, and if it doesn't work, give it up. Test my product. And if my product doesn't work, then give it up. Now, to answer your question. So that's the first answer, which is, how do you know? Sad, you can't. Because for someone who doesn't know, there's no way for you to know immediately that this is right, that's wrong. Okay? That's the first step. Let me go a little further than that also. The Buddha said, no one can become enlightened. Enlightened doesn't mean sotapanna only. Enlightened means awaken from darkness to the light. So that means you know what is true versus what is not true. Okay? So the Buddha said, a person cannot be awakened to the truth without a kalyana-mitta. Kalyana-mitta means Dhamma companion. Okay? And a Dhamma companion is not just a homeboy or a friend. A Dhamma companion is someone else who's already been awakened to the truth. Therefore, the Buddha is technically the first Kalyana-mitta. Then all the Arahantas, the Sotapannas, the Sakadagamis, Anagamis were extra Kalyana-mitta. Okay, so now, all that being said, let's get to the important part. What was this truth the Buddha spoke about? Okay, this is what we all want to know. What is the truth? The Buddha said there's three types of truth that exist in this world. Not truths, but what we call truths. You have truth number one, an aristocratic truth, which means a singular individual or those in power determine what is true for everyone, which means nobles, kings, presidents, governments. They are a small group of people that tell us what is right and what is wrong. Now, their right or wrong is an external right or wrong. And the thing is, not everyone agrees. Some people agree, some people don't. But it's our truth we have to live. But inside, some of us don't agree, right? Now, there's a second type of truth, which is called a democratic truth, which means the majority believe. The majority believes that this is true. Therefore, we should believe too. So, same thing. There's certain things that the majority believes, and we believe it also. That's a democratic truth. However, if there's a majority, there is also, so how can that be absolute truth? So aristocratic truth is not a truth. Democratic truth is not a truth. They are sometimes truths. They are partial truths. So you can't rely on them. That's why when you asked me the question, you had many parts in there. You said, how do I know it's true if other people, that's it, you're done. If you based your truth on other people, you're already basing on an autocratic, aristocratic, or democratic. So you've already killed your own question when you said that. You get what I'm saying? So your mentality is good. You have the right intention, but you went the wrong way. So you're going through the trash first and saying, well, why is it so dirty? It's because you're in the trash. You're caring about what other people think. What you should care about is what's the absolute truth. Not what you think, not what you think, not what most of us think. What's the absolute? Okay? Now the Buddha said there's the last type of truth, which is called the universal truth, which he named the Dhamma. The Dhamma is truth that nobody can deny. No living being, no spirits, no souls can deny it unless you're voluntarily lying. For example, everyone's going to die. Everyone who has ever been alive is either dead or dying. If you're born, you shall die. Life contains suffering. You see what I mean? These are universal truths. Now, those are the big ones that are obvious, but there's also little ones that are obvious, but not to everyone, such as impermanence. In fact, that is the one rule the Buddha said. He said there's three things. There's suffering, dukkha, anicca, anatta. There's three parts, right? He said, let me break this down for you. This is how they work together. Watch. All things in the universe are anicca, which means they're inconstant. They're constantly changing, they're constantly moving, they're constantly changing, right? However, if a world is changing, Sunny, come here. Like, put your hand around, try to stop it, but don't actually touch it. Like, he's trying to stop this. He's going to be very tired. Because it keeps spinning, and he keeps trying to stop. He's going to go crazy, right? This is what we call trying to stop something that doesn't stop. Trying to make something that changes not change. That's what we call nityam. But in reality, it's anityam. Nityam means permanent. Anityam means impermanent. Okay? All things in life are anityam. But we want them to be nityam. When they are nityam in our minds, we're happy. I'm young. I'm still alive. I want it to stay this way. Then I will be happy. I'm a pretty girl. I want to stay pretty. I'm happy. I like being here with you. I want to stay here with you. I'll be happy. Okay? And when that happens, listen to this, watch. The world is always anicca. You want it to be nityam. So be nityam, and it doesn't listen. What happens? How do you feel? Dukkha. So you see the connection? Watch. Anicca is natural. Make it stop. Nityam. When it stops, you feel, I'm special. This is what I like. This is what I appreciate. That's called ego. That's what they call atta. You set something as, you give it a name. You give it a name. My purse, my clothes, my offering. This thing wasn't mine before. It's mine temporarily, and it's not going to be mine in the future. Yet why do I dare call it my stuff? You see that? It's an impermanent object. I made it permanent in my mind, and I gave it a name. And now I believe in it, because it has an actual name now. You understand? And that's called atta. But the Buddha says, listen, look, if everything's anicca, you make it nityam, you set it as atta, then you will have sukha. Okay? If it's able to be permanent and you give it an ego, then you will be happy. Because everything is anicca, therefore it can have no atta, so it's anatta, and you have dukkha. That's the connection. You see it? The spirit and the body are both underneath universal truths. So, impermanence doesn't only affect physical body. Impermanence also affects the non-physical. So your mind is also impermanent also. The things that you think, the things that you believe can change. Your soul's age, your soul's thoughts and its feelings will always change. It won't stay the same. Even your soul is subject to change. And so here, let me give you a real life example. Because now we're talking about a lot of theory. So it sounds pretty and it sounds nice, but you can't use it. So let me give one that you can actually use. And it's very simple. And you would be surprised that practicing the Dhamma is actually very simple. But people make it so complicated. Watch. They were going to look for food in Bangkok. They live outside of Bangkok in the village. So they're going to go look for food in Bangkok on Chinese New Year's. So as you know, I don't know how Indonesia is the same thing, but in Chinese New Year's, everything's closed. Because everyone's Chinese, so everything's closed. So then all the restaurants are closed. So then they're like, oh man, we're so hungry, let's go find some food. So the husband says to the mom, hey, let's just pick whatever's open. And mom's like, and the lady would call mom and dad. So mom says, okay, dad, we'll get whatever's open. And the dad says, oh, look, I think I see a McDonald's. Let's go to McDonald's. And she knows this. He's never eaten beef as long as they've known each other, ever. So she knows, and he knows that she knows. This has never been a problem. So he says, Mom, let's go get some McDonald's then. She says, okay, Dad, let's get McDonald's. They drive to the thing, and the dad says, hey, look, it's really hot, and it's busy. So how about this? I'll stay in the car with the daughter, and you go down and order the food, bring it back, we eat it in the car, and then we drive home, get out of this hot city. She's like, cool, man. Okay. I'm okay with that. And she says, Dad, my love, in Thai, like, Dad, my love, what would you like to order? And he's like, oh man. He looks out the window and says, I'll have, number one, the Big Mac meal. And so she says, my love, in a really cute way, you know, like, Sonny, are you sure you want a Big Mac? And then Sonny says, yeah, I want a Big Mac. And then Mae says, Sonny, honey, you want a Big Mac? A Big Mac? Seriously? Sonny's like, his anger is getting a little bit higher. And he's like, I don't understand what's going on. Yeah, I want a Big Mac. But she says, honey, Big Mac? Really? A Big Mac? And now Sonny is pissed. I said, Big Mac. Get your butt out of the car, go buy a Big Mac. Now, Mae is pissed off, right? If you were her, would you be mad? Okay, look. I asked you nicely 3 times. I asked you nicely 3 times. You said you wanted it. It was your idea to go to McDonald's. You told me what you wanted. I asked you nicely 3 times. And now you yell at me? Oh, no, you didn't. Right? You yell at me? And then she says, okay. Kudo, Dhammo, Sangho. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Be a good wife. Trust and love your husband. He's always right. I do it. Fine. Fine. So she goes to McDonald's, buys a Big Mac. Comes back to the car. For you, and for me. You're so hungry. So Sonny tears into it. Like the orange soda. French fries, 10 in the mouth right away. Time for the sandwich. Takes it out. Picks it up. You want a problem? You want a problem? I got a problem for you. You want to have a problem? How long have we known each other? How could you do something so stupid? She's like, Buddha, Dhammo, Sangho, Buddha, Dhammo, Sangho, Buddha, Dhammo, Sangho. And it's not working, right? Buddha, 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 Buddha. It's not working. I can't. You know those little plastic knives they give you at McDonald's? So, but she remembers. A teacher once taught her and says, if you're ever angry at a retreat she went to, if you're ever angry, that means you have a wrong perception. If you have a wrong perception and anything you say will be wrong, it's going to create more suffering after. So she's listening. She's like, okay, Mayo said, if I'm mad, it's my fault. Wrong perception with me. It's my fault. It's so his fault. It's so his fault. How is it my fault? But Mayo said, I trust Mayo, but I don't get it. Okay, Mae Yo says, if you're mad, just shut up and don't do anything. Okay? Don't do anything. So then, Mae says, okay, Sonny, take us home. Don't talk. Take us home. So Sonny's like, all right, whatever. Takes them home. Mae goes into the bathroom, calls America right away. Mae Yo, I need you now. I need you now. Okay? You need to help me now. Mae Yo's like, calm down, my daughter. Like, what happened? Okay, Mae Yo, look, this is what happened, okay? Look, told the whole story the way I just told you. And then Mae Yo said one thing. Mae Yo said, I'm sorry, I think I lost something. I got mixed up a little bit. What is a Big Mac? Like what is a Big Mac? Is it chicken, beef, fish? I don't understand this problem. And the lady says, Mae Yo, what are you talking about? You've been in America for 45 years. Your kids eat McDonald's every weekend. You don't know what a Big Mac is? She's like, me, I don't eat fast food. I've never eaten fast food. The kids go in, they order their own crap, and they eat it, and they come out. I don't order it. So, no. What is it? So what's the big deal? I don't understand. And she hangs up the phone. She just hangs up the phone on Mae Yo, says, I got it. Hangs up the phone. And so Mae Yo checks on her later and says, is your husband still alive? You know, like, what happened, right? Like, this is scary, right? And her voice is different. She's like, Mae Yo, I get it. It was my fault. Mae Yo, how is it your fault? Can you tell me how it was her fault? The husband was angry. He was wrong. He was. But it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Why? What was Mae's wrong perception? Not quite. Almost. More. What is the wrong perception? What is the nittang? What is the belief that's solid? No, we know that. He doesn't eat beef. We know that. He told us that. But what is the wrong belief? When you hear it, you're going to be like, oh, it's so obvious. Yeah, it's so obvious. She assumed that what I know, he knows. If I know, then you know. That's why I don't have to say beef. Because I already know it's beef, you already know it's beef. If I say Big Mac, that's the same thing as saying beef. Now, what is the right perception? If that's wrong, so can you imagine that on a piece of paper? What I know, I want you to see this on a piece, like, if you can write it down, but just look at it. If what I know, you must know also. Okay? That which I know, you also know. Okay? If this is the wrong sentence, because of what? Very easy. It's permanent. Is it not permanent? Is it a permanent thought? This is what we call a nama. It's not a physical body inconstant. It's a nama. It's a thought. It doesn't have a body, but it exists. It's your belief. You somehow believe that if I know this, you know this. Because we were there together. We live in America together. We went to McDonald's together. You were there the same amount of time I was. How could we not know? Everyone knows. Right? So what's the correct thinking then? If I know, therefore you must know is the wrong one, what's the right one? I know, therefore you don't know. Is that right? That's just the opposite. If I know something, that means you don't know ever. Is that true? If I know something, that means you have to know it too. Is that true? Then what's the difference? If you add one word, the whole thing's correct, and it becomes a universal truth. What is it? May, maybe, might, all of them. Those are called impermanence words. If you say always, must, have to, never, those are called forever words. They're permanent. But when you say maybe, might, could, possibly. It's now watch the difference. Watch the difference. How solid is your heart when you say, if I get up, you're going to take my seat? Versus, if I get up, you might take my seat. What's the difference? One of them is, I'm already pissed because it already happened. The other one is, I'm prepared. When you go gambling, I will win. I might win, I might lose. That's called impermanence. Now listen, if Mae had understood impermanence and had her thought correct, if I know, he might know. At some point, she would have just said, Sonny, did you really want to eat beef? And Sonny would, what, beef? No. Would the problem have happened? Would they have had this issue? Do you see the power you hold now? But if you don't trigger him, he doesn't get to show it off. Another example. A lady, a wife, called the nun and said, Mae Yo gets all the bad problems. Mae Yo, I need your help. I'm going to divorce my husband because my daughter's 2 years old and my husband always says the bad words, like the really, really bad Thai words, like really bad. And I don't want my daughter to always have to hear the bad words. Every time I do anything, Mae Yo, he always throws me the bad words right away. And I don't want my daughter to be exposed to that. So I have to divorce him. Mae Yo's like, calm down. Like, give me an example. She said, okay, look, for example, like the way the house is, there's a garage door and you have to open the gate. And so like, he's going to leave for work and I'm like doing some work in the house. And he says, hey, honey, I'm going to leave for work. Can you close the gate after I leave? And then I just said, well, could you do it? Because I'm working in the house. And then he said, oh, you this and that, and just yelled at me. See, I didn't do anything wrong. Okay, give me another example. Okay, my husband just bought a new countertop for the kitchen. It's made out of granite. And he said that this new granite is so like new age that you could slice meat on it and it won't leave a mark. So he went to work and I bought him a steak and I was slicing it on the granite. And he came home and he says, honey, why aren't you using a cutting board? And then I said, well, you said that the granite is just like a cutting board, so there's not going to be a mark. And then he said to me, Mae Yo, listen to this. He says, okay, I think I see a pattern. Before you divorce that guy, can you do me a favor? She's like, what? Anything Sonny asks you tomorrow, I want you to answer one word. In Thai, we have a word. It's called ka, which means yes. So no matter what Sonny says, say ka. Can you do that? But Mae Yo, can you just say ka? But Mae Yo, can you say ka? Ka. Good. I'll talk to you later. 1 week passes. Mae Yo calls her and says, Mae, are you divorced already? Like, what happened? Like, you disappeared for like the whole week. And Mae says, I don't know, Mae Yo. I think Sonny is sick. Like, what's wrong? Well, he hasn't like said weird things to me that much this week. Like this week it's been very low. I don't understand why, but I think Sonny's like sick or something. He's different. And then Mae Yo says, okay, Mae, can you do another favor for me? This time, 1 week. No matter what Sonny says, just say ka for 1 week, okay? Promise me. I promise, Mae Yo. Can you do it? Ha. Here's the trick. Everyone has two sides. You have a witch side and a princess side. Everyone has multiple angles to your personality. If you look at him as purely evil, you're going to be wrong. If you look at him as purely good, you're going to be wrong. So if you know he has two sides, then learn how to play with both sides. Don't just play with him in one side and you change, get rid of the devil, no more devil, only prince. You can't do that. So this is what we mean by like practice. The way you judge a practice is not by meditation hours. It's not by how many sutras you read. It's about this. How many bad personality traits have you changed? How many good personality traits have you learned? How many lazy things that you do that you don't do anymore? How many like good for nothing things that you do that you stopped? How many good things that you never did before, but you do it now? That's how you tell if you've improved. That's how you tell if you're a true Buddhist. If you're a Buddhist that gives dana, chanting and meditation, but go home and threaten your kids, yell at your kids, punch your wife, then nothing changed. Nothing changed. You're just a superficial Buddhist. But if you go home and your kids say, Mommy, you're different. Mommy, you don't talk to me like that anymore. How come, Mommy, you don't get so mad anymore? Mommy, you don't argue with Daddy anymore. I feel like there's more love in the house, Mom. How is that possible? That's how you know something changed. And if you don't change, that means either the method of Buddhism that you're practicing is wrong, or you're practicing the right way, but doing it the wrong way yourself. So before you quit Buddhism, or you quit whatever you're practicing, you got to check two things. Number one, is the teaching right? Number two, are you doing it right? If you get the right teaching, but you do it wrong, it's still wrong. If you do it right, but it's the wrong teaching, you're still wrong. You got to find the right teacher with the right teaching, and then you have to do it right to get the right result. And here's the scary thing. It's hard. It's like finding a good husband. There's not that many out there. No, I'm serious. There's not that many good husbands out there. Just like a wife. There's not that many good wives out there. And to find one, you really have to put in work. You got to study them, observe them, test them. You know, like you got to really, really like live with them and really like see how it is. Otherwise, you can't find the right one. However, so for you and for anyone else, I'm not going to tell you that my way is right. My way that I'm practicing is good for me. I've seen numerous results for me and for the people I've trained. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that my way is the right way. Okay? The fact that you're even looking for the right way already tells me that you're on the right way. The fact that you haven't given up, the fact that you haven't improved yet, but you're trying to and you're looking for it, that means you're going to find it eventually. You see what I mean? Now you just have to keep looking and maybe look in different places. If you keep looking at the same people and it doesn't work, then try a different one. This is a very important, I'm running out of time here, but the Buddha, but if you notice something about the quality of the Buddha and the quality of the Arahantas, they have a same quality, which is they go all the way, and if it doesn't work, they cut it off immediately. Listen, Sariputta, Mahamokkhalana, when they were lay people, they were named Upatissa and Kolita. You can go read it in the books. Both of these men were handsome young men with 500 servants each. They went to the festival and they said, man, this festival is so fun. Day 1. Day 2, this is just the same thing over and over. Day 3, this is so stupid. Day 4, this is horrible. Day 5, why are we still here? Day 6, this is so dumb. Day 7, they both said, I want to find a way out of this stupidity. Like, I don't want to live this rich boy life anymore. I want to find a new way. So they both said to each other, let's go. At the same time, they were like soulmates, and they are soulmates. And then they both left. And they went and found a teacher called Sanchaya. Now, Sanchaya was a famous teacher, like super famous. And he asked Sanchaya, we are sick of the rich boy life, the playboy life. We want to learn this holy life. What's your style, man? Give me your style. And Sanchaya said, hey, man, my style is so cool. My style is the deny everything style. Said, what? Watch. Anything you say, I deny it. Anything you think, not true. Doesn't exist, nothing. And if you deny everything, then suddenly nothing will be true. And if nothing is true, everything is true. The guys were like, they don't know. They were confused. I don't know. What do you think? Upadisa, what do you think? What do you think, Kolita? Let's try it. So they practiced that for months, years, who knows, until they became the masters of this crazy style of denial. So now they're the masters of denial, and they know they're the master. They're better than all the students. And they said to Sanchaya, teacher, Ajahn, we have successfully denied everything. We are the master deniers. But I don't feel enlightened. I don't feel like I learned anything new. No truth has exposed itself to me. No magical knowledge has come to me. I'm still the same guy. I just deny really well now. And Sanchaya says, look, man, if you can deny everything, you graduated, you succeeded, you're done. And the two guys says, what do you mean we're done? I don't feel any smarter, and I'm not enlightened, and I don't feel free. So if you say this is it, and I'm done, that means you're wrong. So they both left him that day. They said, okay, Sanchaya, I'm sorry, but we quit. If this is the end of the road, and this is all that you can teach me, and it's not enough for me, I will quit. So they quit. And they both left and went different ways until Sariputta met an Arahanta who taught him the right way, became Sotapanna, came back, grabbed Mokkhalana, taught him the same thing, became Sotapanna. They both went back to Sanchaya and said, Sanchaya, we now know the truth and we want to go see the Buddha. I want you to come with us and we can all be students of the Buddha. And then Sanchaya says, no, I have been a teacher all my life. You want me to go be a student? No, I can't. If you want to go, go, but I won't. That's a perception. I'm a teacher, that's ego. I have to stay a teacher. As a teacher, I cannot change who I am. I cannot change what I am. You see what I mean? Those are perceptions. That's wrong. Everyone changes. What you are will always change. So Tensai said no. The two boys were like, please, teacher, don't be so dumb. Like, don't think like that. A Buddha doesn't come into the world very often. We found one. Let's go. And Chaya's like, look, let me ask you a very simple question. Are there more stupid people in this world or smart people? The boy said stupid. And says, how about this? You and the smart people go to your Buddha. I'll stay here and be the teacher for all the stupid people. And the boys were like, Sanchaya, don't think like that. Don't think like that. Sanchaya's like, no, just go. So the boys left. And all the students left too. And Sanchaya was so depressed and so like crazy that they said his heart exploded with anger. But I think he committed suicide. But they say he like was so stressed out that his heart had a heart attack. That's that example. The Buddha himself, Siddhartha, he met Alama Tapasa and Uttoka Tapasa, the two teachers. They taught him meditation. He quit. After he graduated and he didn't become enlightened, he quit. Second guy, practice meditation, practice it, didn't work, quit. And the same thing with the Buddha. When he practiced with the 5 Panchavakya, they taught him, hurt yourself. Through pain, your heart will release attachment. Okay, they did the maximum pain. Didn't release anything. So he says, well, if I did the maximum pain, I'm about to die from pain, and I didn't release anything, this method doesn't work. So you might want to eat food. So do you see this? Even in the Buddha, in his holy disciples, they have the same personality when they're searching for the truth. Go all the way. However, don't believe all the way. Go all the way, test it, get to the end, and if it's BS and if it's stupid, leave. Don't keep doing it. Leave. And if you have that personality, if you do that, I guarantee you one day you will find the right one. Because if you keep testing every single one of them out, and eventually one of them is going to be the right way. But that's what we call samsara. It's a risk, it's a gamble. Every Pante that you have ever followed taught the same thing, meditation. And Nayo, look at you. You haven't changed in 15 years. You're still angry, you're still controlling, you're still hungry for money. You haven't changed in 15 years. How about we try a new style of Buddhism? Luang Por Thoon teaches panya, teaches wisdom. Why don't we go try wisdom instead? And Mayo says, wisdom? What is that? Well, I don't know. Let's go find out. So they went to go try. And after that, everything started changing. With his style that he teaches, Mayo started changing. And then I noticed it. My sister noticed it. People just started changing. And that's how I felt like this is real. If all the meditation couldn't fix my mom in 15 years, but this panya style changed her in like a year, I'm going to give it a try. And that's why I'm here. Not because of me, but because of her. When she meditates, it'll be like this. Meditate. Stop. Meditate. Stop. Right? So I'm still saying, look, you just stop every once in a while. Every time you meditate, you're better for like a day. Then she met Luang Por Thoon. Then it was like this. She never went back. Yeah. You see? That was my path. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that my way is the right way. Obviously, I think that. Obviously, I think that my way, the way I'm practicing, is the right way. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. But I will not tell you that, even though I just did. But I won't tell you that, because it has to be your way. You have to find your way, you know? And so to answer your question, which answers her question too, is no, don't keep doing the same thing. If you don't see any improvement in your anger, in your greed, in your weight, in your behavior, in the voice, your tone, the words you say, if you don't see any change, I wouldn't practice that anymore. The way I test it is, have I leveled up? Like in a video game, have I leveled up? If I'm still the same power level, this is the worst place to like farm, the level. This is horrible. So now, I wish I had more time. If I had more time, I would tell you more techniques. You know?